some college football as well. We're here Monday through Friday from at 6 p.m. Eastern time, giving you the latest picks, all these live free picks here from our Pick Dog crew. And let's take a look at our crew tonight, who we have. We've got Jeff Jeter on board tonight. We've got Rod Zawacki. Center Square will be Joe Duffy to lead us off. My co-host today will be Chris Ruffalo. Goran will look at some EPL. And, of course, we got Brian Bittler still sitting number one in college football, Brian, over 1,000 units.
Yeah, I'm all excited for, I got a smaller card tomorrow, but it's a quality card tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a quality card, but he's coming in with college football tonight, so stay tuned for Brian Bittler's sandwich. So let's welcome in Chris. Chris, you getting wired up, ready to go? I guess we had you fine, but we lost your sound there, my man. We don't got your sound.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry, I was
good.
Getting a little bit uncomfortable, but then we just had to get everything fixed. I decided to knock a few wires around. You know me, Tony. I like to fly by the seat of my pants. It's like a parachute, so I like to
absolutely
come in with
in.
a soft landing.
All right, let's parachute in right now. Joe Duffy, you'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. Joe, how you doing today?
We're doing pretty good, and a huge weekend is ahead, so I'm very excited about this weekend.
Yeah, huge weekend. Of course, college football regular season. Our last weekend of big card action. Of course, next week we get into the conference championship. There'll be some scattered games from the conferences. But Joe, tonight you're looking at a rivalry game from college basketball, as we've got the Iowa schools getting together, Iowa and Iowa State. This one at 9 p.m. Eastern time over on Big Ten Network. Iowa laying about 12.5. Total sits at 158.
Yeah, Iowa State, they're just a very bad team. They've got nobody to match up against Luka Garza, who is, of course, probably the best player in the country, certainly the best big man. They don't really have any athletes. Jalen Coleman-Lands is really the only decent athlete on Iowa State, but of course he's 6'4", so he's not going to help guarding Garza at all. And it's not like the game plan for Iowa is going to be just simply to throw it inside and exploit that mismatches, because even if hypothetically Iowa State comes up with a good game plan and they're able to double him and say, let the rest of the team beat us, well, the rest of the team can beat them. Iowa is a very fast team. Iowa State just does not have the speed to match up with them. This is a team that was trailing at halftime, the Arkansas Pine Bluff. Arkansas Pine Bluff, they are ranked 350 out of 357 Division I teams by Ken Palm. I think we could get together a team and be pretty competitive with them. I think Tony T and I, we set up a couple screens for Chris Ruffalo. We could possibly beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then Iowa State, they did pull away, granted in the second half, but still they were down at halftime. Meanwhile, and by the way, they were beaten the other night by a South Dakota State team that's pretty average at best. They take on an Iowa team that's outscoring their foes by 27.8 points per game. Now, true, they did beat up on a couple weaker opponents, better than Arkansas Pine Bluff, by the way, but their smallest margin of victory all year was by 13 to North Carolina. That's tonight's spread, or as you said, 12.5, so that's a little bit more than tonight's spread. Iowa State, they have no true point guard. They lost their guard from last year, Halliburton. They didn't really replace his scoring. This is supposed to be a high-scoring game, and as I said, Iowa can beat them if they slow it down and pound it inside. They can beat them if they run in Garza. That's why he's the best big man in the country. He can also stay in the running game. And, Tony T, you mentioned this is a rivalry game. That's one of the bigger myths I hear all the time. You got to take a double-digit dog in a rivalry game. That is absolute poppycock. I did a study in this in college football, not so much college basketball, but anecdotally also in college basketball. Find out, if anything, it's just the opposite. When you have a mismatch, the better team stays focused when it's a rivalry game, not to mention usually they have no compunction to run up the score because, look, if they're coming down to a recruit who's considering the two rivalry schools, nothing better than saying, look, we crushed them last year by 30 and 25 points. Do you really want to go to them? Don't you want to play for us? We're a much better team. So that's a big rivalry myth. So Iowa minus the number W marks the center square.
All right, Joe Duffy doing his due diligence here. You tell him rivalry game. He's going to look up the data to validate those myths out there. Chris, what say you in this one?
Well, first I want to say for Arkansas Pine Bluff, it says something that you have the two lightest guys on this three-man panel that are setting the screen for the heaviest guys, even though I was a shooter back in my day. But that's besides the point. I can't disagree with anything that Joe just said. I'm on Iowa as well. Iowa State just did not do anything to replace Halliburton. You got a deep Iowa team. I think this game's going to get ugly. This is a game that actually, for a quote-unquote rivalry game, this is a game that could be over by halftime. I like Iowa laying the points as well.
All right, all agreement here with Iowa laying the points here against Iowa State. All right, Joey, let us off your big weekend of action, college football, NFL, college hoops. What you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
We got a big weekend. By the way, look, I did my scouting on Chris. I know that if you give him a good look from 17 feet, he is deadly. But tomorrow, there's nothing tonight. All our games are underway. We like the early stuff. But Big Ten total of the year, CBS total of the year is among 5 wise guy plays. That's our highest rated play for tomorrow. A couple of the plays that we had planned for both tonight and tomorrow were postponed. But as of now, as of this second, showtime, all 5 wise guy plays are scheduled to kick off tomorrow, including 2 name plays. So get Joe Duffy's picks over at Pick Dogs.
All right, guys, check Joe Duffy out over at Pig Dogs Premium. One of those long-term passes, you want to check them out for the weekend, a 3-day pass will get you the weekend action. Throw in that Monday Night Football as well over at Pig Dogs Premium. Get one of those long-term passes from Joe Duffy. All right, Joe, as always, great having you on the show. Continue your winning success, and we'll talk with you next week.
I was going to say the only better look I'll get from 17 feet is at a buffet line when I'm standing about 30 yards away. But Joe Duffy knows his stuff.
Yeah, it certainly does. He knows his stuff. When you're around as long as he have, you better know. You better know your stuff.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going to go eat myself, Chris. So I'm going to go eat, myself.
All right. Now we have a good dinner. We'll talk with you next week, Mr. Joe Duffy.
Very important there.
That's right. That is right. All right. Continue on here on the drive-thru, guys. We take it to the top of the hour. And, of course, if you missed any of the picks, be sure to stay tuned at the end of the show as we recap the plays for you. And, of course, we'll also give you an update on the Pick Dogs Handicapper Contest. We just got the numbers in, just updated, working on the graphics right now behind the scenes. And we'll have that ready for you at the end of the show as well. All right. We'll continue on here on the drive-thru. It's time for Chris Ruffalo to step up here and look at this game. You're looking at this Milwaukee and Kansas State contest. This one tipping off at 8 p.m. Eastern time. ESPN Plus will televise here. Kansas State up to a 10.5-point favorite from the opener of 8. Total sits here at 131.5. And, of course, it looks like we're going to continue to pile on this Kansas State outfit.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, I think everybody's going to know where my head is at when I say this. I have no idea why this line has jumped 2.5 points in Kansas State's direction. I mean, you look at what's happened with Kansas State. They haven't replaced the guys they lost last season. Maween, Xavier Sneed. They haven't been able to replace these guys. And when you go out and if you're a smaller school like we just joked about Arkansas Pine Bluff, but I don't think anybody would put it past them to lose to a maybe a subdivision school. When you're Kansas State, when you're a power conference team, you have to beat those smaller schools to at least save some face, and you're losing to Fort Hays State of all teams. I don't even know if they're Division II, Division III, NAIA, your local YMCA. I don't know, but this Kansas State team is in trouble. Bruce Weber is in trouble. I don't care if it's a rebuilding year, and I don't care if fans know that it's a rebuilding year. This team's in trouble. Milwaukee, on the other hand, they're not projected to do a whole lot in the Horizon League this season, but they bring back one of the better players in the Horizon League in Tejan Lucas. This is a decent team. This is a Milwaukee team that I think is probably going to take a couple steps forward from where they were last year. And all in all, I just think this is a bit of a step back for Kansas State just from a game-to-game basis. I think it's enough of a step back that you can at least take a shot with Milwaukee on the money line at plus 460, because if you can lose to Fort Hays State, you can lose to Milwaukee, even if Milwaukee hasn't taken the floor yet this season. So that's where my head's at. I love the points with Milwaukee here. I'm also taking a shot with the money line at Milwaukee at plus 460.
Yeah, all agreement here with Milwaukee plus 10.5 as well on the money line in that one. Of course, Milwaukee, a team that was involved in a lot of close games last year. A little bit more experienced this year with 4 starters back. I'm with you there, Chris, on that pick with Milwaukee plus the points. All right, Chris, what you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Oh, it's our favorite time of my part of the segment anyways. I'm going to open up the advent calendar. Tell you the truth, I even forgot what I put in here. What was put in here before I even got my hands on it. Sorry. I'm trying to not ruin the surprise for anybody. Alrighty, so let me just pull this up here. You guys are going to get a free premium birdcage for tonight. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull up my premium picks. I'm going to have that premium birdcage for you guys when we're doing the recap of our picks at the end of the show. But as far as my weekend goes, I've got my 3-day pass. I'm going to have college football, college basketball up there as well. Guys, hop one of those 3-day passes. You're going to get my NFL in there as well. It's going to be your best value. Guys, don't miss out on this. Like I said, these are your best savings. We're having our season passes up there. NBA is just around the corner. Guys, let's put some cash in your pocket. Head into the new year on the right note. I'm going to put some cash in your pocket and pick out some winners.
Get some cash in your pocket, guys. Pick up one of those long-term passes from Chris Ruffalo. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. That 30-day all-sports pass will get you all Chris's plays from the sportsy handicaps. That would be college football, college basketball, the NFL. The NBA will be in play as we're just about 11 days away. The preseason starts tonight. If you can believe this, will be a nationally televised game late tonight from the NBA on ESPN. So, guys, the NBA preseason is in here. Keep an eye on them. Start taking notes on some of these new players in the league. And a good time to pick up one of those long-term passes from Chris Ruffalo over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, we'll continue on here with Chris. Reminder, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every day. You got the live show here from Mitch to start off at 10 a.m. Eastern time, the drive-through at 3 p.m. Eastern time. You got the halftime picks show with Mitch, and of course, Ask Anything to Mitch. He'll do some of those impromptu shows, so be sure to set those notifications. Of course, Chris, give him that thumbs up, that like. That helps us out.
Guys, it doesn't cost you a cent. It helps us out a ton. It allows us to be able to do, all the stuff that we do, all our live shows. It helps with our videos. It helps build up our fan base. When we can build up that base, we can give it back to you guys as well. So, like we've had a few people say it during the week. We say it every day. Just smash the like button. Again, takes you a second. You're already here. Just got to scroll down, smash it, and come back up and keep watching our quality content.
Yeah, we appreciate that very much. All right, continue here on the drive-through. Lots of picks coming up, guys, from all the primetime action. We got a college football pick in and a lot of college hoops, so let's continue on. And welcome to the show, Rod Zawacki. You'll find him, of course, on the morning show with Mitch and company. And, of course, we got a big weekend show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We've got him here on the drive-through. Rod, how you doing tonight?
Doing good, Tony. Doing good. Happy Friday to everybody.
Happy Steak Friday to everybody out there. You know what'll be in Rod's plate tonight, right?
Yeah, you bet. Steak Friday.
It is Steak Friday. And, Rod, you'll be taking a look here at this Murray State and Southern Illinois game. Murray laying 6.5, total about 135.5.
Both teams coming in here. Both teams definitely been scoring the ball like crazy. SIU is averaging 94 points a game. Murray State's averaging 99 points a game. It floors me that this number is so low. Why is this number so low? I look at the defense. SIU's defense is averaging, they're giving up 70 points a game. Murray's defense giving up 73 points a game. That still gets us over this number. SIU's last 6 games have went over the total. The last 6 games between these two, 5 times it's went over. Both these teams are not playing very good defense at all, if they're playing any defense at all. Take this game over the number. It's going to fly over the number, as we're just going to see no defense being played. Both teams fast-paced, back and forth, lots of scoring. Easy over here. Take this game over the number.
Rod Zawacki says take it over the number. Chris, what say you in this one between Murray State and Southern Illinois? 7:30 p.m. Eastern time start in this one, ESPN 3 on TV.
I'm with Rod on this one. I like what Murray State's been able to do ever since they really had that bounce back performance after the loss to Middle Tennessee earlier this season. You come back and you smash the daylights out of a pretty good Austin Peay team, and Southern Illinois, no slouch in the Missouri Valley as well. I like the over 135.5 here as well.
All right, all agreement here on the over in this one from Rod Zawacki over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Rod, big weekend coming up of action. We've got college football, NFL, some college hoops mixed in there. What you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
I got going. I started this for Steak Friday. So your best bet is to grab yourself a 3-day pass. Last 2 college Saturdays, I'm 13-3 on Saturdays. Grab yourself a 3-day pass. I have 2 plays left tonight you'll be able to pick up that'll come up. Or I have the 1 play available. I got a college football bailout game. But your best bet is get something long-term. Get a 3-day to get you through this weekend. I've got a couple plays for you Friday, tonight, and then tomorrow, Saturday, we'll have lined up on Sunday. That's your best value there. Grab a 3-day pass, get you right through the weekend, and I'll make you some money.
All right, you weekend warriors out there, get that 3-day pass from Rod Zawacki over at Pig Dogs Premium. Get all his football coverage here for this weekend. Of course, there'll be some college football, NFL, and college basketball for you from Rod Zawacki at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Rod, as always, great having you on your show. Have yourself a great night. I know you guys are going to keep busy with that contest over at Sports Chat as well as Pig Dogs, and we will talk with you next week.
You bet. You guys have yourself a wonderful weekend. Have a great Steak Friday.
Have a great Steak Friday, you too, as well. Rod Zawacki here on the drive-thru. All right, we'll continue on with our coverage. We're going to take a look at a college football game from the Pac-12. And who better to cover college football, Chris, than the number one capper over at Pig Dogs Premium, and that's Brian Bittler. Brian, how you doing?
Oh, I'm ready to just sweep the board tomorrow. I really love the Saturday card, but I guess we're here to talk about Friday action. I got to continue my run. This is the last week of the regular season. I want to end it in first place.
That's right. Of course, next weekend will be championship weekend, but we're at regular season weekend here. There'll be a scattering of games. I know the Pac-12 will have some games as well next week. They're actually to be determined, so we'll see how they set the schedule. But we're going to look at this rivalry game here, Arizona State at Arizona. The Sun Devils are favored to about 9 in some places. Total sits here at 56.5.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried that this line has dropped from where I bet it this morning at 11.5. That's always a cause of concern. But if you look at the numbers, this is a revenge game for Arizona State. They lost to Arizona last year. Arizona is also 2-9 against the spread the last 11 games against Pac-12 opponents. Also 1-9 against the spread following a straight-up loss. So for me, like Joe Duffy talked about earlier, in rivalry games, it doesn't matter to me. It's a rival game. I'm going to lay these points here because I really think Arizona State wants to make a statement, get their first win of the season, and just crush the Wildcats tonight.
All right, Brian says go ahead and take Arizona State. Now this one's now at 9, so do your shopping. You'll find 9 in most places. So and actually we're seeing 8.5 in a couple of books right now. So shop. Get the best number from this one. It kicks off top of the hour on ESPN. So check it out over there on television. Of course, make that play. When you make that bet, look for the best number. All right, Chris, what say you here on this Arizona State-Arizona game?
Yeah, I'm leaning in the same direction just because I think Arizona's defense gives me some cause of concern against a pretty good Arizona State backfield and, quarterback Daniels and the running backs there as well. I'm with Brian on this one. I like Arizona State laying the 10 or 9, right, depending on where you get it.
Yeah, shop that number, looking at possibly a 9 there on this one with Arizona and Arizona State. All right, Brian, we know you're number one college football document over at Pig Dogs Premium. What you got going on for this weekend?
Well, later on tonight, I got my Friday night college football no limit bet. And if you don't want to get in tonight on the game, you can get my Saturday early blank check college football. Really love it. Get those 2 picks over at pickdogs.com for $30 each. Or like Rod had talked about earlier, the best deal, 3-day pass. Get all 3 days. You're going to get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday action. So best bang for your buck, pick up a long-term pass.
Those long-term passes. Clean out that bookie's pocket right here with Brian Bittler. You see the numbers, nearly 1,000 units of profit college football document. I think past 7 days, it's over 1,000 units as well. So Brian right now hot. Well, we've been talking about this all season long. We're getting right into the teeth of the season here. We got the final regular season. Next week, it's championship weekend. You want to get on board here with the number one documented capper at the site. That's Brian Bittler. Good time to pick up one of those 30-day all sports passes. He'll cover you for college football. Of course, we get into the bowl season, so the bowls will be in play, or all the major bowls will be in play when we get that 30-day pass. Of course, NBA will start in 11 days, so get on board here with Brian Bittler over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Brian, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself there a great night, and we'll talk with you next week, Monday.
Well, I'm going to see Chris tomorrow morning, but I will see you on Monday, Tony, so have a good weekend.
That's right. Have a good weekend. Don't forget you can find Brian Bittler and, of course, company over there on the morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Ron Romanelli, Rod Zawacki. We got Brian Bittler, Chris Ruffalo, Mitch there on the morning show to get you started 10 a.m. Eastern Time. That's the show to check out tomorrow morning. All right, continue here on the drive-thru. We're going to welcome our buddy Jeff Jeter to the show. Let's see if we can bring in Jeff. We'll find him right here. Jeff, how you doing tonight?
Doing well, Tony. Ready for a big weekend.
Yeah, big weekend. Exactly. You're going to be looking here at this Metro Atlantic game starting off top of the hour on ESPNU. It's Iona and Fairfield here with Iona laying 4. Total sits about 133.
Yeah, looking at on the Iona side, they're 1-2 on the season as well as 1-2 ATS, and that one win came against Hofstra at 82-74. They did in fact cover that game, but you know, looking at Iona, I mean, it's been kind of wishy-washy with them so far as they've kind of gotten along. But one thing I did notice is they're very good at blocking shots. I mean, they're 18th in Division One right now at 5.7 blocks per game, and so. But keep in mind, along with that, comes 25 personal fouls a game. So they're hitting a double bonus pretty quickly in some other games. But the one thing I did notice was that especially against Hofstra, they did have 7 blocks against Hofstra in that win. 4 of them came from forward Noah Jr. Joseph, but of course he did foul out by the end of this game. But keep in mind with Iona, senior Isaiah Ross is leading the way for him. He was averaging 22 points on the per game on the season, and did have 33 in that win against Hofstra. Now with Fairfield on the other side, they're 0-4 and 1-3 ATS. The problem with them is they're averaging 60 points a game, but the shooting has been a big factor into that number. I mean, they've not really done so well from the floor. They're only 39.2% overall and 26.1% from three-point range. So, but I mean, I will say, with Fairfield, they're defensively, they've been fine in the first half. I mean, they're only allowing about 30 points, but where we've seen, Fairfield get behind is they seem to be fatigued here in the second half. They're allowing 43 points in second halves right now, and I think it's got a little bit of contributing factor here to some of the the 0-4, 1-3 ATS. But and overall, both teams are in bottom half in possessions per game, and so it just tells me that I'm looking at the under in this game. I think it's going to be a deliberate pace. Seeing a little bit going more towards the over, but I still think this is going to be a deliberate pace game that we'll see just go into the total, and a lot of it coming on some poor shooting from Fairfield. So.
All right, there you got it there from Jeff. Take Iona and Fairfield under total of 132.5. All right, Chris, what say you in this Metro Atlantic contest?
I'll give Jeff credit. He's a braver man than I am for taking a look at this game, because this was a hard one for me to call just from both the side and the total. I think this game's going to come down to whether or not you get enough defensive stops on Iona, because like Jeff said, Fairfield doesn't score a lot. It's just a matter of if Iona shows up on the scoreboard or not. Again, personally, it was a no play for me, but I can definitely lean towards the under here based on all the points that Jeff made.
All right, their agreement there with the under 132.5. Of course, during as we get into January, these games will take. Probably there'll be a handful of games, Jeff, and we always see the Metro Atlantic scheduled, right, with the Horizon League.
Yeah, absolutely. So.
Yep, absolutely. All right, Jeff, why don't you let everybody know what you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium? We got a big weekend of football coming up.
Yeah, big weekend of college football as well as NFL. And, of course, we got a huge card of college basketball coming tomorrow, and a pretty sizable card on Sunday as well. So, right now is the time to get this 3-day pass on my end. I mean, it's the best value you guys you could have for the entire weekend, and take a look at those longer passes. But I'll have you a good 5-pack of college football, maybe a bonus pick in there for you tomorrow. And, we'll see what happens here with college basketball tomorrow as well. So plenty going on. NBA about to start up, so don't forget about that. And just so you guys know, just wanted to, off the topic of the pit dogs and everything, just want to let everybody know out there, me and my wife just found out we're having our second child here coming up in June. So just want to announce it to you guys right here on the show. And, we're very excited, and appreciate you guys for inviting me in every Friday here on the show.
Oh, congratulations to you and your wife, Jeff. I'm sure Chris will have the same.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm excited.
Yes. Congrats.
Just don't name him Joe D'Amico. That's all I'm asking. I'm sorry, Joe, but we can't have a 485,000th Joe D'Amico running around for how many people have named their kids after you. I'm sorry.
That's right.
Well, guys, I appreciate it.
That's right. We get a lot of chime in here from the chat room as well, of course, for Jeff Jeter. Congratulations. And don't forget, guys, big weekend of coverage. Why don't you check out Jeff over at Pig Dogs Premium. Pick up one of those long-term passes. He does a 3-day or a 7-day. You can get all of his plays. It would be NFL, college football, college basketball. And, of course, if you get that 30-day, then the NBA will be in play as it begins in 2 weeks. Jeff, NBA about to start. Getting ready?
Yeah, super pumped about it. It's going to be interesting to see how the moves in the offseason work for some teams. And so definitely love the NBA. It's one of my better sports, that I've covered. So definitely ready for it.
All right, very great to hear. All right, Jeff, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great weekend, and we'll talk with you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Appreciate everything.
All right, our buddy Jeff Jeter, a Papa is soon to be here. Congrats again to Jeff Jeter. I will continue on here on the drive-through. We'll welcome our English Premier Soccer expert here. Expert number 1, we'll call Chris expert 1A, 1B. We'll see. We'll bring in Goran. Goran, how you guys doing? Love the little rivalry between you guys. We got to get that mute off. I think you got the mute going there, Goran. We can't hear you. Let's see here. You try that again? Tell you what. Why don't you sign off and sign back in again, which I think you're already doing because I see the frozen picture here. So I'm sure Goran will go and sign in and sign out here. Of course, let's go back here and we're looking here at Goran to see if we can get him back on here. Just we'll go some of the comments. And of course, Jeff wants to thank everyone out there in the chat room for your comments.
And I will say this, honestly, and I'm not just saying that because he was just on the show, Jeff Jeter, one of the nicest guys, I think, on the Pick Dog staff. Could not be happier for him. Congrats to Jeff Jeter. That was fantastic news and a great way to end the week.
All right, we got a comment here from Chris Smith saying Harden coming to Philly. I don't know if he's thinking of that or if that's official. I haven't seen any official word on that, but that would be something. All right, Goran, we got you back. How you doing, my man? We don't have your sound again. So you check your mic. We had your mic set up here. We'll see if we can. We're going to attempt to get Goran. Okay, Goran, why don't you sign in and sign out and see if you can correct that. We're going to go on to the next segment. We'll come right back to you. Okay, so try to correct that if you would. All right, we'll continue on here on the drive-through, and yours truly. Go ahead.
I was going to say, all I'm saying is he sounds a lot better when he's not bashing Everton. I like this Goran where I don't get to hear him very much.
That's possible. That is.
No, I'm totally kidding. I love Goran. I hope we get the audio fixed.
Hope we get the audio fixed from Goran. All right, guys, I'll step up here with my pick for tonight. It'll tip off top of the hour. We're going to go back to Metro Atlantic now. I look at a lot of these games, handicap a lot of these games for several years because Metro Atlantic's always on Fridays. Now the Horizon League, it's always a handful of games. Well, my play is going to be here from Niagara against St. Peter's. I'm going to take the 8.5 with Niagara. It's the conference opener for both teams. Now, the Purple Eagles return all 5 starters from last season. Their top 4 scorers are back. Last year in conference, the Purple Eagles were the number 1 3-point shooting team, connecting on 40% from beyond the arc, and they committed the least amount of turnovers. So they took care of the basketball. They split their 2 games with the Peacocks last year, went at home and lost by 5 at St. Peter's. Now, the Peacocks, they lose 3 stars from last year. Their defensive style means close games. And, St. Peter's won a lot of those close 1- and 2-possession games. But you know what? If it's a 1- or 2-possession game, that covers here. So I'm going to take Niagara plus the 8.5. What say you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm still a little bit hesitant with Niagara after they got drilled by a Syracuse team that was missing 5 players because of COVID. But in a conference opener for both teams and the way St. Peter's played close games last year, I think I'm going to lean your way, Tony, with the points in Niagara. I think it could just come in under that number. I think it could be a 6 or 7 point game. Yeah,
that's what I'm counting for. Just a real close 2-possession game, and I'm in there in the money with Niagara here. Of course, bring that good three-point shooting team. You won't face that zone and those long arms from Syracuse. It'll be a little different. The defense here with St. Peter's. All right, guys, you can check Big Dogs Premium for my 3-pack for tonight. Of course, I'll have a weekend of football. Also have those long-term passes up there, 7-day and a 3rd-day at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, we'll continue on the show. We'll effort here to bring on Goran back on the show. We'll see if we can connect here with Goran, our English Premier segment. Let's see if we can get him on right now. He's back on. Let's see. Hopefully we got his sound. Goran, how you doing?
Good. Hopefully you can hear me now.
We can hear you now. Third time was the charm, my friend. All right.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't know. I don't know if Chris has something to do with that or not, but we'll find out later.
It was the Everton juju.
I bet Chris did something. Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe so. All right.
Blame it on you.
I'm going to blame it on Chris. All right. Well, you're going to be looking here, going at an English Premier pick here for us. Manchester United and Manchester City going at it.
Yeah, it's probably the biggest game of the weekend, and I gotta be honest, I don't like Manchester United here. They got a tough opponent. They lost in the Champions League earlier this week. They got knocked out to the Europa League. Their defense was just terrible. Their offense woke up too late in the game, and it was just overall bad game from them. They couldn't really do anything. And then on top of that, they decided to sell Pogba earlier today because of his manager and, the usual stuff. While Manchester City won their game in the Champions League earlier this week, and they even secured their spot in the next stage 2 or 3 weeks ago. They're playing well. They're scoring less goals than last season, but their defense is much better than last season. And for that reason, I wouldn't dare take Manchester United here. They have only one win at home this season so far, and I'm going to take Manchester City and over 2.5 here for plus 140.
All right, both two have to hit. Manchester City winning and the over 2.5, and your return will be plus 140. All right, Chris, what say you in this matchup?
Tony, I hate to disappoint, but I'm 100% with Goran on this one. For all our soccer fans in the chat and watching this, I haven't seen this much turmoil at United since David Moyes was the manager, and that was a gong show at Old Trafford. And this United team is just a disaster. I think we're going to see, I don't want to say a bit of a letdown spot because this is their big rivalry matchup, but the team, like Goran said, just got bounced from the Champions League. They don't have any Champions League playoffs to look forward to. They have to go down to the Europa League. They have to go through that again, and that's not where, this United fan base wants to be. And, I think City's going to take advantage of that. I think they're going to be high on confidence after making it to the next round, and I just think they're going to beat up on United here. So I'm with Goran on this one.
Can't argue that. What I've seen from Man U, especially in that game against Brighton early in the year, it was so terrible. I just saw this coming. This come, no doubt about that. All right, Goran, big weekend soccer, EPL, and European soccer going on. What do you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I knew I should have picked Everton and Chelsea game to talk about it here with Chris. So I went the other way.
That's right.
Yeah, I have a 3-day and 7-day pack on the Pig Dogs and one Pig Daily pack for tomorrow coming up soon. And, of course, a lot of free content on Sport Chat Place as usual.
That's right. You can check out Goran over at Pig Dogs Premium. Why not pick up one of those long-term passes, get all those European soccer. He'll throw in some World Cup qualifiers if they're going on, and you'll get a 7-day or 3-day all sports pass there for him over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Goran, continued your success over there. We'll be following you over at Sports Chat Place with your written content. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk with you next week.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
All right, everybody. Goran Hukar here on the drive-through. All right, we continue on here with our show, and don't forget we're here Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we give you picks for the primetime actions that begins at the top of the hour. So always make sure you tune into our show, and of course everything starts in the morning with Mitch's show, in the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow. You'll have Ron Romanelli, you got Chris Ruffalo, you've got Rod Zawacki, Brian Bittler, Mitch. Be sure to check that out. And of course, Mitch has his halftime shows during the NFL. All right, let's go ahead and recap the plays from today's show. We'll go ahead and put those up right now. All right, we'll start. We got actually Jeff Jeter will also join us in this segment. We had Joe Duffy started us off with Iowa minus 12.5 against Iowa State. Chris Ruffalo was on Milwaukee plus the 10.5 against Kansas State. Rod Zawacki said Murray State Southern Illinois over 135.5. Brian Bittler, Arizona State Sun Devils, that's now minus 9, minus 8.5 in some places against Arizona. Jeff Jeter, take Iona Fairfield under 132.5. Goran, Manchester United, Manchester City over 2.5, and Manchester City to win. That return is plus 140. Yours truly on Niagara plus the 8.5 against St. Peter's. We'll start here with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I got to either go with either Joe Duffy's pick of Iowa or Goran's pick of Manchester City and the over 2.5.
All right, we're bringing here Jeff Jeter. Jeff, other than your pick, which one here do you like the best?
Yeah, definitely like Chris's pick of Milwaukee plus 10.5 there against Kansas State tonight. I think I might even throw a little bit in on that money line too. It looks like a pretty decent bet there. So, love it.
Yep, I'm with Jeff here. I like Chris's play the best there. Milwaukee plus 10.5 against Kansas State. All right, Jeff, you have yourself a great weekend, and now it's time to review the leaderboards from the Pig Dogs contest, Capper contest, and let's take a look at this here. We got the first placer with James Clark, 21-24. Joseph Peru fell down to 1140. Tiger Smith at 920, but boy, big jump here for James Clark. What was this, a money line hit?
It was, and it was a bold money line hit as well, plus 1,700 on Coppin State money line against UNC Greensboro. That was one of two giant upsets last night, and it was kudos to James Clark for picking that one out, man.
That's right, and of course the leaderboard through 12-10, and of course let's go ahead and look at 11 through 25. This is the most current up to date through yesterday's action, so you can see it's still early. And of course, we're gonna get. We still plenty of time. You don't have to panic and go for some of those big money dog hits right now, Chris. Do you?
No, we say that, and it was another one of those things, right? Like you said yesterday, don't go chasing the money line dogs just because you feel that you feel the need to. If it's a play that makes sense, by all means, go for it. Apparently, Coppin State made sense to James Clark earlier this week, but. Like we said, we're 10, 11 days into a 31-day race. So you guys got plenty of time to make up the space you are behind the leader. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Yeah, still a long way to go. We see a leaderboard 21-24, 25th place at 443, but you can make up those units here in the next 20 days of the month, guys. So be sure to get those picks in as well. That's important. We gave you some recommendations here. Set an alarm on your phone, and that will have a ringtone for to give you a notification that you got to make those picks in. Make it consistent, same time every day, so you don't forget. Any other tips there for the cappers out there, Chris?
I think just mostly just make sure that you put your picks in the correct group, because unfortunately, if we don't see it and we don't see that it's in the wrong group, we're going to grade it that you didn't get your picks in, and we won't be able to see it. So make sure they're in the right group. Just because I was talking to Rod about this off the air. If you put your picks in the wrong group, well, that kind of looks like, okay, well, if you win the contest, are you going to put your premium picks in the wrong sport? You know what I mean? So that's where it's just like, you guys, it's just a matter of making sure that you cross your T's, dot your I's, and just make sure that everything's in the right spot and ready for us to grade it, because it helps with efficiency. I've had a few people that have reached out to me and said, I just want to make sure that everything's correct. It helps speed up the process if you give us a lot more to work with. You help us, we help you.
All right, guys, advice there from Chris Ruffalo. Be sure to check it out over at the Facebook group, Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. If you're new to the show, and it's great just to follow those threads out there and track the top handicappers so far in this contest. See what they're on, see if they match up with you. A good way to track the picks. Everything there is transparent. The plays are inputted on the Facebook group. Pig Dogs, and the other contest is Sports Chat Place. We'll have that contest updated next week. We hope to get to the point where every show will have the latest updated scoring here. So just bear with us. We should have that corrected by next week. So every show will be able to give you the latest up-to-date records at both contests. All right, guys, this concludes our show for tonight. And don't forget, we're back at it again on the drive-through Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with all our prime time picks. So be sure to tune in. Of course, don't forget the morning show at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. Big college football card. Maybe they'll sprinkle in some college basketball as well with Mitch and company on the morning show. All right, let's bring in the crew from tonight's show. Wave everyone a nice goodbye. And look, we've got Rod Zawacki right below me. He's got his birdcage pick here with Duke moneyline plus 170 against Florida State.
Tony, sorry, just before we sign off, I promised everyone I'd give out that premium birdcage from the Advent calendar. So for tonight, guys, what you're going to do is you can take Kansas on laying the points against Omaha, Marist plus the points against Canisius, and Creighton laying the points against Nebraska. I'm going to cash a birdcage for you guys tonight.
All right, get the birdcage there from Chris Ruffalo there, as promised here on the drive-thru. Okay, wave good night to everyone. Have a good night, and we'll talk with you guys Monday.